It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And we are back in La Jolla Shores to come. We wanted to come and check in on our client. Remember this project where they had the lawn removed and the artificial turf was going to be installed after we were done. They were also getting a new fire pit and then just having some areas of the yard mulched. Remember that star flower shrub that was so tragic, but we decided not to pull it out. We wanted to see if fertilization and proper pruning practices would bring it back to its glory, so you can see how that looks. It's been a couple of months since we did this installation, and we are absolutely thrilled, as I'm sure you're going to be, with how it's doing. So we can start here with Hannah and Terry's Tapestry. This inner courtyard gets really bright bright light, bright direct light, not much sun, just a little dappling, but we've really got the irrigation dialed in beautifully because, as you can see, there's nothing stressed from lack of water. There's nothing rotting from too much water. And sometimes in these situations, we've got to come back and do some tweaking. We are in the process of doing some tweaking out front with some areas where the water just isn't quite right. And that just takes time, for that to develop, issues to develop. Here's the Crassula undulatas. This is going to be the most beautiful little hedge of plants in about a year. Really looking forward to that. And this Baccarnia recurvata was moved from over poolside to this space behind the fire pit. And it was so mad at me when we did it, but it is throwing off all kinds of beautiful new growth and clearly has realized that I was right and this is a better spot. I'm the daddy. My little trio of barrel cactus is kind of a signature for me. I love companioning, pachypodiums and Baccarnias with barrels. I don't know why. And then here's another really simple solution to, it's landscape, it's space, but, we didn't want to do anything complicated here. So just the green of the undulata hedge was all that I recommended. Then her gardener, Rico, thank you, Rico, came in and put down all fresh mulch in areas where we weren't going to be. And yes, this will need done every year, but it sure is pretty, isn't it? I call it smoke and mirrors. And, there's nothing the matter with wood mulch as long as your expectations are managed. It does fade in the sun. It does tend to blow away. It does need to be replaced on a regular basis, but sometimes that's just the solution. With this wall of Ficus repens and all of this overhang and shade and roots and thatch, short of pots or some sort of a raised arrangement, I just wouldn't even know where to begin here with plants. And frankly, I just don't feel like it needs it. I like the idea of this being able to breathe with just the mulch. It looks good. Don't hate it. So we had to start the rock somewhere. So here's where we started. And same thing, since we were starting the succulent installation at this point, we did pop in an Allocameronii and some Ruticope, just kind of as brush strokes underneath this New Zealand Christmas tree. And, these stands will grow and mature and really own the space nicely. Here's one of the specimen gardens that we installed. And again, you can see that everything is thriving. This was another Baccarnia that was here that we just moved into this space. I brought in, I believe, 3 yards of soil to mound in here. So it's a significant amount of dirt. And here's our little Crassula lemon and lime hedge. This is another option. We just had this very, very narrow space and wanted to do something tight and compact. Just loving that. Everything looks terrific. Wow. This is all on subterranean drip, and it goes off once a week for 10 minutes at a time. Then up here is the bromeliad underneath the little pygmy palm, which isn't so little anymore. But this Greg set up on little micro sprayers, since the bromeliads need to have their cups, water in their cups. Gordon worked on this area, and we've got some little Aeonium herbicum and a couple of agavoides, and it looks like an Echeveria harmsii right here that really greened up because of the shade, but it's still healthy and happy and going to throw off some really beautiful blooms. Don't we love our Namaste flamingo? Super cute, love that. And now for the piece de resistance, the artificial turf. You're also excited to see it, and I know, it's not the perfect solution, and some of you are very offended by it, but you know what? This client has indicated to us that their water bill has been cut by 50% and it's summer, but it's lower now than it was even in the wintertime. And yes, it's not the most environmentally friendly solution, but it is a solution in this extremely stressed water situation that we're in here in Southern California. The fire pit is magnificent. This is also new, guys. And the cactus garden, my little cactus oasis, looks super with the aloe bainsii and all of the barrels. And look at the starflower hedge, really starting to make a comeback. And when we come in and do annual maintenance, I will work on it. See, the idea is to not shave it from the top, but to make judicious cuts low inside the plant. You can see, and this is what I was showing our client, that where there was a cut, see how the plant branches out beneath the cut? So you have to think about all this new little growth. This is going to grow this way, this way, this way. So we want to cut down low enough that the branching starts lower. Because the secret is to open the plant up and to keep airflow. Where it's really dense, no air circulation gets through, no light gets through, and the plant dies back in the middle. But where we've got it opened up, you can see all of the new tender growth. And that's the idea, is to just keep opening and lacing until you get a really airy, natural look to this hedge. And since this is such a very, very important part of this landscape, it makes such a visual impact, I really wanted to try and save it. So I think it's a success. I'm loving the way it's looking. It's really coming along. And this artificial turf is a beautiful blend. It's the most natural looking artificial turf that Greg and I have ever seen. This is about 1,000 square feet. This was a lot of water to throw on a lawn, and that lawn wasn't even looking good. This is just so much neater and prettier. They have grandchildren that play on this. It gets use, and it's just a great solution. I'm really happy with it. We did cut out about 100 square feet from the bottom and put in, of course, the flagstone patio. So we're able to reduce the imprint or the footprint of the lawn somewhat. And, if you're looking over across the pool, there's our beautiful succulent garden. Greg came over a couple of weeks ago and ran drippers to those big blue pots. They weren't loving having to hand water those, and where I'm not a big fan of drippers in pots because it's a little hard to control the irrigation, those are really, really tough, and I'm confident that all is going to be well, but we will keep an eye on them. Over here we added a trio of blue pots. that are looking really pretty. These are hand watered, but it's easy to do because the hose is just adjacent to this. And our tree was also not leafed out when we were here doing the installation, and it has shown a little bit of stress because the roots were extending into the lawn and were being watered by the lawn. So they're keeping a real close eye on it and making sure that it is getting irrigated, and we're confident that it's going to survive and do fine. Over here we have our little Yucca rostrata and our little barrels. Again, this was just an accent bed. We wanted to keep it really, really simple, and I'm very, very happy with that. Then down here, Rico added some more of the wood mulch. He also added more of the retention pavers. Came up, you can see they're a slightly different color, came up 2 more levels. Then they backfilled with more soil, which is also, I think, going to really help this tree and this hedge thrive. Then the potager garden was just getting potagered when we were here, and now it's really, really taking off. It's July, so, you know, it's summer. We've got tomatoes and cucumbers. We planted these 2 citrus trees that are looking really, really great. And oh my goodness, more cucumbers, fennel, and tomatoes for days. Wow, how fun is this? Look at this little cutie. Aw. I'm hoping that when we move, I can grow some more food. I kind of got away from that outside of my fruit trees, and I really love growing food. All right, so we just, you know, kind of fluffed up the DG in this back area here, and our client is in the process of fantasizing about growing a bunch of plants in all these nooks and crannies. You know, little aeoniums, sedums, dudleya. I mean, there's just so much that she can do because it's just La Jolla, it's coastal, it's not hot. Look at this, her little aeoniums. Little aeonium here and there. Oh, look at these, there's more. How cute. Oh my goodness, all the way around, all the way around. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yep, yep, see, she's starting down here. Look how hilarious this one is. See? I mean, these plants, can you even with it? Look at that. Look at that. Woo! Talk about resiliency and toughness. And then she's got Aeonium kiwi tucked in here. So I'm really excited to come back for maintenance in a year and see just what she's accomplished down in this area. Then the last thing to look at is our big blue pot. Wow. This is getting, you know, really full sun. And it is really, really happy. We've got our Euphorbia trigona. We've got some Echeveria, and this is a ruby slippers. This is like the one over in the bromeliad bed, but it gets plenty of sun, so it gets that beautiful, beautiful blood red color. And these little sedums or sedivarias, maybe, I don't know, blue pearl, maybe? These were here in this pot, so I just kind of rehabilitated them because I thought it was just really interesting. And I added some more and tucked some things in the back. But this is a client that is a very, very green thumb, and she's really eager to learn. She's doing a phenomenal job. Very, very proud of her. And yeah, the garden is just looking terrific. So, you know, remember, nobody bats 1,000. Things die, things stress. She's got a couple of Mangave kaleidoscopes too that are just failing, kind of like the ones we're going to go take a look at over at our client in Sunset Cliffs. And I'm going to be meeting with Tom Jesh to pull some plants for a Del Mar client, and I'm going to pick his brain, and we will get to the bottom of it. We will figure out what is going on with these kaleidoscope. There doesn't appear to be any sign of disease. I don't see any bugs. There's no rot. But the plants are just kind of wilted and sad, and they're attracting a lot of ants. So if you've got the answer for me, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll keep digging until I figure it out. This has been Laura Eubanks reporting from La Jolla Shores with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.